Surveys on quality of life frequently place Singapore as number one. It is well known for its multiracial population, warm temperature, top-notch infrastructure, and universities. Singapore is also well known for its global investor program, which is something we're going to be talking about here today. My name is Jelena Sivcev. I'm a strategy manager here at Nomad Capitalist, and we help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs go where they're treated best. Today, we will be speaking about the Singapore Global Investor Program, which is a residence by investment scheme. And we will be getting into nits and grits of the program, where I'm going to be talking about the process and the requirements for obtaining Singapore residence. For years, obtaining Singapore permanent residence was relatively easy. The country was relatively available, and it's English speaking, so a lot of people went there. But eventually, Singaporeans started complaining a bit about the amount of foreigners that are coming to their country. So they decided to make this process and this program a bit more difficult and a bit more expensive. As a result, moving to Singapore as a legal resident has become harder. However, getting in the country isn't that hard if you have the scent, business idea, or millions of dollars to invest. But the rules have changed, and we're going to be talking about those rules today. So when we're speaking about this global investor program, you generally have three options in order to be eligible. All three options require you to invest about 2.5 million Singaporean dollars in different things. First option would require you to invest about 2.5 million Singaporean dollars in a new local entity that you will start, or as an extension of an existing local business. You also must demonstrate about 3 years of entrepreneurial or business track record and must submit audited financial statements of your company for the last 3 years. And you must prove to the authorities that you have what it takes to make that business succeed, both in terms of your experience and how you plan to go about it. The Singapore government often acts as the link in finding suitable partnerships between foreign investors and local business networks. If you own more than one business, you must submit the financial statements of the company which has the highest turnover. You are generally free to consolidate your businesses in order to meet the minimum annual turnover criteria. However, authorities will also take into consideration the factors such as your role and position in the company and the profitability of your company. The second option, which might be a bit easier, is to invest in Singaporean funds that are investing in companies based in Singapore. The amount here is the same, 2.5 million Singaporean dollars. The third option is investing the 2.5 million Singaporean dollars in Singapore-based family offices. This can be a new or an existing Singapore-based family office that has what is called assets under management of 200 million Singaporean dollars, of which at the minimum of 50 million Singaporean dollars must be assets in Singapore, and the 150 million Singaporean dollars can be offshore assets. This means that it is important to have net investable assets of at least 200 million Singaporean dollars. These include all financial assets such as bank deposits, capital market products, collective investment schemes, premiums paid in respect of life insurance policies, or any other investment products, excluding real estate. It is also necessary to have at least 5 years of entrepreneurial investment or management experience. So a family office is generally a physical office in Singapore, whereby a company is basically investing funds on behalf of another entity. Any investment route that you choose, it generally has to be made from your personal bank account that is in your personal name, so not a company, not a trust, but your sole name, opened in a Singapore registered bank. After making the required investment, you must submit a documentary evidence in a hard copy of your investment to the Singapore government. And from then on, your application will be reviewed and considered for the next about 8 months, and then you will get a response from them. Singapore has definitely one of the best passports in the world. It is one of the rare non-European passports that is that strong and that will allow you visa-free access not only to Europe but also the United States. However, obviously it comes with its cons, which is that it doesn't allow dual citizenship. So if you're looking into getting a Singaporean passport through this permanent residence scheme, which would take you about 2 years, which is again not guaranteed. It can take a bit longer. We have seen cases where people have gotten it after 2 years. We have seen people got it after 5 years as well. Approximate timeline is about 2 years. However, it can take longer. And if you're looking into getting this passport, one thing you should take into consideration is that you would have to renounce your previous passport and you cannot obtain any other passports alongside that one. The second thing that might not be so beneficial is that there is a military service that you have to complete as a Singaporean citizen. However, if you're all right with both conditions, this can be one of the most powerful passports that you can hold. In addition to that, if you're not looking for a passport, you just want to live in Singapore, this option can be again great because Singapore has a territorial tax system, which means that they don't tax your worldwide income as opposed to most of the European countries, other Western countries as well, and they would only tax a Singaporean sourced income. And in addition to that, it has an amazing lifestyle with amazing medical benefits, and it is an English-speaking country. It is one of the more expensive places where you can live. It is definitely one of the most expensive places in Asia where you can live, besides obviously Japan and South Korea. But if we're talking about nearby countries like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore is definitely on the more expensive side. However, even as such, if you compare it to, let's say, New York or other US countries or cities, it is definitely cheaper than that. So if you're looking into just living in Singapore, not necessarily for a passport, this global residence scheme can be definitely something that you should take into consideration. Or otherwise, if you're looking for a passport, this is also a program that can lead you to the passport. But in any case, if it is something you want to go towards, be prepared to invest a larger amount of money and go through a more strict due diligence process in order to get this residence visa.